How to tell my 33F partner, 35 meters, that I want to have the baby adopted. Apologies for any bad spacing on a mobile. I've written and rewritten this a few times. Hopefully it's clear and to the point. I am 33F and my partner 35 meters. We have 3 amazing children from 10 to 4. We've been together nearly 14 years. I found out 2 years ago I was pregnant and we both agreed it was something that we couldn't do for various reasons, so I ended the pregnancy. I was a SOM for 8 years. Getting back into work when our youngest started nursery. Loved being back. Finally felt like I was a person again. Not just a mother. We both decided after I ended the pregnancy that I should get my tubes tied. And I was on a wait list. In August the first discovered I was pregnant. We used 2 types of contraception but it happened anyway. I discussed ending the pregnancy again and he was, for lack of better word, cruel. Said that after I murdered our last child he'd hoped I'd have grown a heart. That he managed to forgive me for what I did last time. But didn't know what he'd do if I did it again. I'm currently 24 weeks pregnant. But I don't want this baby. I love my children. I love my partner. I love our life. But I spent so long being just a mom. I can't go back to it. I had a phone call 2 days ago from the hospital to discuss an appointment for sterilization. But obviously couldn't. So I'm back on the wait list for who knows how long. I tried to discuss adoption with him. But he refuses. Says I'm not allowed to give his baby away. That I've done it before so I can do it again. I asked if he would take the time off and be a sod but he said no. When I kept trying to talk to him, he just took himself to bed and has refused to talk about it since. I've spoken to his sister, Sil, who has had previous reproductive problems and she is more than happy to take the baby on from birth. But I don't know how to talk to my partner about it. It's our baby, and he is a really amazing dad. I can't just say, this is happening. Any help would be appreciated. Thank you. Update. I'm going to go to bed now as it is late, so I won't be replying anymore. Thank you for your comments. You've all given me a lot to think about. I will check the condoms when my partner is at work and then talk to him in the evening. I think therapy is a must for us both. At minimum. Thank you all again. I would start to consider what your plan is if he doesn't agree to adoption. Because it doesn't sound likely that he will. I mean, you can't give the baby for adoption without him agreeing. You need to sit him down and explain the options, or adoption or you two break up and you give him physical custody of the baby and he would have to figure out care. Obviously you would still be required to pay child support but you won't be responsible for doing any care for the baby. Those are really your only options if you do not want this child that bad. I don't see a way for this marriage to move forward unless one of you compromises on something huge. Either you have and keep this baby and make him happy but you miserable. Or you abort the baby knowing he thinks you're murdering his child and probably won't forgive you, since he's still resentful apparently of the last one. Or you try to adopt the baby out. But I don't think you can without his approval. I don't think it seems like there's any way he will be okay with what you want. And you obviously won't be okay with what he wants. For what it's worth, I would not be able to forgive my partner for accusing me retroactively of murdering our child. Especially if it was a mutual decision. Based on his reaction to this pregnancy, accusing you of murder with the last one, and that you got pregnant despite 2 types of birth control. Is it possible he sabotaged one of the birth controls because he regrets that you ended the last pregnancy and in his mind this is his second chance at that terminated baby? I'm suspicious that he has in some way messed with your contraception for you to end up pregnant. Despite using 2 methods, it's ultimatum time. The baby goes elsewhere or he stays home. Don't give up your life for his wants. Tell him that the only way you stick around, and not make him a single dad go this newborn, is if he agrees to hire the help needed to care for this child. And also be an equal partner. You will not quit your job. This child will go to daycare, or have a babysitter, or whatever. If he can't afford it, then he needs to work more, or cut expenses, or whatever. If he can't agree to all of that, then you all can't afford this child and he should be open to adoption. He can't be such a great dad if he treats you like this. Cruelly, without any empathy. I agree with you. If he wants this child, he needs to step up and be a sod. He can't just tell you that you can't have an abortion. You can't have it adopted and you have to go through this again although you have done it 3 times and just can't anymore. That's not a loving partner. So his dad game is probably great only as long as everything goes the way he wants. So you can't abort it because it's his baby. Can't put it up for adoption because it's his baby. But he can't stay home for the kid? LMFAO. I think he's baby trapped you. While you can still get pregnant. That's a stretch. Did he wear a condom? If yes, are you confident in saying he wouldn't poke holes in them? What other contraception did you use? One that needs to be in the refrigerator? Did he remove it from the fridge, let it spoil and put it back in there? Look, this isn't going to work out well. Personally, once the baby is born, I'd sign over my rights and leave. Then all communication can go through lawyers about your other children. The fact that he refused a vasectomy and you're now suddenly pregnant with multiple forms of birth control is really alarming. Statistically, the chances of this happening are incredibly low. Manipulating the mother of his children by accusing her of murdering a fetus that they both agreed to terminate is beyond cruel and inhumane. I am so sorry that happened, Op. I know you believe he is a good father, husband. If he is putting his own want far above your need to the point of such cruelty, he is not a good partner. He is prioritizing a potential human over the well-being of his wife. You know what the options are. 1. Stay and do what he wants. You know what that will mean for your life. Would you ever forgive your husband? Yourself? Could you be present in an authentic way? If not, your options are 2. Keep the child but tell your husband to figure out care as you will be returning to work. Staying home or finding other care his responsibility. He will be resentful and probably find ways to make you miserable. I can also imagine him making promises then backing out last minute. Putting all on you. 3. Agree to allow your SIL to adopt. You would still be able to form an aunt, uncle, cousin's relationship with the child. SIL would have the baby she desperately wants and the child would be safe and loved. Guessing if he agreed, his response would be same as above. 4. Divorce and decide what you could accept as far as custody. You will have your independence and autonomy. Pursue your goals and have time for yourself. Happier people make better parents and better examples for their kids. Divorce is awful, but not as awful as losing your autonomy. Before sitting down with him to discuss the options, it would be wise to consult a lawyer to prepare for the possibility of him retaliating. Even if you think he would never, people can get very angry when they feel a loss of control. Be ready. Protect your finances and assets. If you need a list of items, documents to safeguard, please message me and I can get you started. The nuclear option would be to have a separation agreement prepared. It would show him that you are not making empty threats. Best of luck. Please don't sell your soul for a man who is capable of calling you a murderer. Or for any other reason. Have you ever considered he was tampering with your birth control? I find it baffling that you used 2 types of contraceptive yet still managed to get pregnant and Now your husband has had a change of heart regarding another baby, and all of a sudden these strong opinions he's never spoken of before about your last abortion have arisen. I would put money on it that he's tampered with the condoms and maybe even swapped out your pills. Put water in any old condoms you have. Check if there's holes in them. Ultimately, if he says no, you're screwed. Adoptions can't go through without both parents' consent. Is there any chance he's tampered with your prevention methods? Sounds like he's a control freak, and maybe he even sabotaged your birth control so exactly this would happen. He wants you pregnant and taking care of kids for as long as possible, so you are too exhausted to do anything else. Run. Did your husband poke holes in the condom? Okay, so you legally cannot give a child up for adoption in most places without the consent of both parents if they are known. So if he refuses to sign papers, the baby won't be adopted. You can potentially bring it up to your husband with your sister-in-law with you. But either way it will not end well. Regardless of what you do. Sounds like your marriage is over because of this. And that's probably going to involve raising and co-parenting all 4 of these children. Are you sure he didn't mess with something so he could get you pregnant? That mixed with his overall attitude and comments sounds super sus. He sounds like an immature who thinks women are meant to be incubators and mommies. Tell him the 50s are dead. You definitely need to get yourself to a safe place if you go through with anything. I also wouldn't put it past him to try to get you pregnant even if you gave the baby up. Do what's best for you. It's your body and your choice. Don't for any reason let him coerce you or gaslight you into thinking differently. You need to file for divorce. Do you think he could be messing with your birth control?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.